Last month, my neighbor, let's call him Dave, came over and asked me a favor. He was going to be out of town for about a week and wanted me to keep an eye on his house. Nothing unusual, bring the mail in, water a couple plants, maybe switch some lights on so it looked like someone was home. I had lived next to him for years, so I didn't think twice. He handed me a spare key, thanked me in advance, and left the next morning. For the first 2 days, everything was normal. I would stop by after work, grab the mail, water the fern in the kitchen, check the thermostat, and head home. But on day 3, something felt off. The second I stepped inside, I swear I heard footsteps upstairs. Not the random creaks old houses make, actual footsteps. Slow, deliberate. I froze in the entryway, listening. After about a minute of silence, I convinced myself I was just tired, so I went upstairs to check anyway. Every room was empty. Nothing seemed out of place. The next night, though, I knew I wasn't imagining things. I went into the kitchen and there was a drinking glass on the counter that hadn't been there the day before. It wasn't dusty either. It looked freshly used. I texted Dave, "Hey, did you stop by the house?" He replied almost instantly, "Nope. Still out of state." Why? I didn't want to freak him out, so I lied and said, "Oh, nothing. Just making sure." On night 5, I walked in and immediately noticed the TV in the living room was on. It was playing some random old cartoon on low volume. I knew I hadn't touched the remote, and nobody else had a key except Dave. The doors were locked, the windows shut. I stood there staring at the screen, trying to convince myself I just forgot. But I knew. That's when I called the cops. I told them I was watching the place for my neighbor and thought someone might be inside. 2 officers showed up, searched every room, checked the attic, basement, closets, everything. They found nothing. No signs of forced entry. They told me I probably just forgot, or maybe my neighbor had another friend coming by. But here's the thing. As I was locking up that night, I noticed something new on the back door. Scratched into the wood, deep and messy, were 4 words. "Stop coming in here." My stomach dropped. I snapped a picture and sent it to Dave immediately. He called me in a panic. His voice was shaky. All he said was, "Don't go back inside. Please, just leave it." 2 days later he came home. I expected him to explain everything, maybe thank me for keeping an eye on things. But instead, he hasn't said a single word about it. He avoids me now, won't make eye contact, won't wave when we are both outside. And the weirdest part? Some nights, long after his car is gone, I will glance at his house and see a light flicker on upstairs. Always the same room. I don't think Dave is the only one living there anymore.